Welcome to the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We're reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. All right, guys, welcome back into the Dollars and Cents podcast with Wes the Economist. I am Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist. We are on Season 1, Episode 22 of our Quick Clip series, and we are reporting to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios here in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and we are going to talk about tariffs today because I know that's what you want to hear about because you're not hearing enough about it on CNN, Fox, and all the other 57 news sources that spin it however they want to talk about it, right?
Well, we did talk about it last week.
We did talk about it last week.
But, man, things have changed.
They change on a daily basis.
They do. They really do.
So
I had a sociologist who's on the other side of the aisle from me. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
He literally wasn't running down the hall, but he was really trying to get to me because we had talked like a month or so ago.
Yeah.
He was worried about tariffs.
Yeah.
And I told him back then, I said, the negotiating tools. It's not really about economics.
Right.
He come running up to me and says, "You're right." It's like, imagine that.
I'd have had a stroke if somebody that
he's a good
disagreed.
guy. I like him.
That's awesome.
And we have great conversations. We don't agree on anything as far as policies and stuff, but we have great conversations.
That's good. That's literally that's the best part of it. Like
it
you
is.
Can have like
it is.
I love people I don't agree with that could sit here and have a conversation. I'm still trying to figure out somebody who's like very liberal that I could get in here and that would talk to me without getting into a screaming match.
Without getting upset.
That's tough to find
Because
really most people in general on both sides of the aisle are very passionate and get very upset.
Yeah. It's
very hard to find people who can just think logically. And
even people on the right that I talk to, if I say something that's not their beliefs, I can see them get a little heated. And I'm like, dude, we're not going to anything. Everybody's upset talking about tariffs. Everybody's upset in Washington. I heard Hakeem Jeffries making a comment about this, that look how the Republicans are fragmented. They're not together. Look at us Democrats. We're together. And I'm thinking, no, that makes you a cult.
Right.
What bothers me about the Democrats is
they're a cult.
None of those Democrats can step out of line.
Right.
You're not allowed to have your own opinion. On the Republican side, we all have different opinions, and we never agree with each other. What's wrong with that?
Well, two Democrats did have their own opinions.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And now there
was it two or more?
Well, I can think of two right off. Tulsi Gabbard had her own opinions.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the ones that voted with Republicans.
No, just in general. Like when they have their own opinions, that's what happens. They have to do that.
Oh, yeah, they have to leave.
And
Charlie Kirk asking this. It was a father. Did you see the clip with the father and the son? The father was liberal as I don't know what, and the son was conservative.
No.
If you looked at him, you would have thought it was opposite.
Okay.
And he was asking the father, he says, would it be good if we had a president that could bring the sides together? Yeah, it really could. It would be great. He says, what if they put some Democrats in the administration? Would that help? He's like, oh, that'd be wonderful. He says, oh, yeah, Gabbard, Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're trying to...
Elon Musk?
Yeah, right. Yeah, all actually liberal by definition.
Yeah, all did.
But all now Republican by being cast out of the Democratic Party, which
because
is very interesting.
They had their own thought. How dare you have your own thought?
Yeah. I would love to see Tulsi run for president next. We'll see. She'll probably keep that position she's in if it stays Republican, but I like her a lot.
Yeah, she's done a good job. I don't think I'd like for her to be president because she has a lot of views that I just don't buy into.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose between her and Bernie? No contest.
If I had to choose between her and socialism, I'd pick her.
Yeah, exactly.
I still can't get over Bernie and the onesies, the onesies thing. Do you not support these onesies? I still, that is ingrained in me forever. I'll to my kids one day, like 20 years from now, I'll be like, you got to check this out.
20 years from now? Wait a minute.
Well, they'll be like 4 by then.
Oh, gracious.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll I don't know about the kids.
Okay,
we'll cross that. Yeah, we're going to navigate away from that. So anyway, these tariffs. So, all right. So what kills me is, okay, Trump says he's going to put these tariffs in place. Nobody's really happy with it. Really, even most Republicans aren't really a tariff fan, okay?
No. So I'm not a tariff fan.
Right. And I'm not either. The more I've learned about them, I like them for negotiations, but if they don't work for negotiations, I don't like having them in place.
Yeah.
Granted, when I looked at the ones that have been in place against us for as long as they've been, I'm like, who was just okaying this for the past 20 years? Like, who?
Well, it's more than 20 years. It's been going on since World War II.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
But it was to help those. It was to help those countries get back on their feet.
Right.
I'm not sure what we said last week, but it was supposed to stop at some point.
Right. It just never did, and nobody. And we just were like, that's fine. We'll just keep on.
We'll let you add more.
We'll just go do what is it? $8 trillion. What are we in debt? Where's that debt clock?
Really?
What are we in debt? How much are we in debt?
A lot,
right? What is our debt?
$37 trillion.
Yeah, so obviously it hasn't been going the right way. Safe to say it hasn't been going the right way. So, all right, so what is it? Monday is when the market went down, right? Was it Monday?
Friday.
Was it Friday?
Well,
Sorry, my
he
days
announced
running together.
Thursday at 4:00, right? He announced it after
Thursday.
He announced it after.
Yeah, because we were recording
markets closed.
that day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So market goes down, whatever, and then you got Jim or what's his name? Not Jim Cramer. It is Jim Cramer, the stock guy, right? That's Jim Cramer. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. The bald guy, Cramer.
I've heard people mention him the last few days. In fact, I was on the radio a couple days ago to mention him. I don't know who he is.
He was talking about there being a Black Monday, a big, where everything would crash. When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit BobbyClary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right. Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and X at DollarsCentsGS and on Facebook at Dollars and Cents. Well, all right, so then he puts, a pause on the tariffs? Right?
Where he... So it
the ones that were negotiating with us, right?
Let's see, what was Friday? I can't go back to, let's see, month. Okay, so what was last, right here. Here's the dip, last Friday.
Boom.
Right? Yep. Friday, there we were Thursday because I knew something was coming.
Yep.
There's the dip.
Yep.
Went on down on Monday again.
That's when billionaires bought stock.
Then Tuesday is when he paused the tariffs.
Right.
And right back up.
Yep.
But if you look at the numbers... I know you can't see this on the video, but if you go back and look at the numbers, let's go back 5 years. Oh, wow. Look at that. We're not as deep as it was during October 2022.
That's a steady incline for the most part.
But this dip here, look at this dip here, 2022, October. I didn't hear anything about it back then.
No.
Nobody was really worried about it. 2023, didn't hear much back then either.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Who was president then?
Yeah, well.
Okay.
Nobody was president, Wes.
That's true. So we had a dip. Everybody's freaking out all over the weekend. We have another big hit on Monday.
Yep.
My brother-in-law taught me how to buying stuff on Monday. He says it's going to last all week. He's been in stocks a long time, so I listened to him. And then what happened Tuesday?
Well, it was hard to anticipate him halting that tariff that quickly too.
Yeah. But he said he wasn't going to do it.
Well, I think I heard that 50 or something countries called and said, hey.
By the time he paused, there was 75 countries ready to come negotiate. And that, if you read the order, only those 75 got the reprieve.
Got it.
Everybody else still got the same tariffs on them.
Which makes sense. It's okay, if you want to negotiate.
But even those 75 have a 10% tariff on them.
Right.
He didn't get rid of them altogether.
Right.
It's kind of like, I didn't read the art of the deal. I don't know exactly what it says.
I read the art of the deal.
Okay, so
great book.
Was it, my understanding of his philosophy is you start at a very strong position that's just out of this world, and then you negotiate to where you want.
Yep.
And that's what that's what he literally did. Look, tariffs on everybody. Here we go, everybody. And then everybody starts coming to the table. Okay, we'll talk.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's worked. China is the big one that I didn't think would budge to start. I was like, he's not going to be able to negotiate with Xi at all.
Well, is he really wanting to negotiate with him? I can't remember. I've talked so much. I've been on a radio show since then. I've been in class and we've talked. I don't know if we've talked about this or not. Do you really think it's about the tariffs with China?
I mean,
have you heard the theory out there?
No, I haven't heard the theory. I have heard Kevin O'Leary, who does a lot of business in China, talking about why we needed 400% tariffs on China.
Really?
Yeah. He has an interesting take on it.
I'd have to listen to him. I hadn't heard him.
I've got a clip of it. Maybe we'll play it later.
Okay. Well, China, supposedly they're in a recession. They've had a hard time since Beijing Olympics. They haven't been as strong after that. Not because of the Olympics, of course, I'm sure it didn't help. But they've just been policing their economy more, where they had capitalism kind of functions before that. The Communist Party's been cracking down. And so their economy hasn't been as vibrant as it was in the early 2000s, like 1990s.
Right.
And some people feel like Trump is trying to Ronald Reagan, like he did with Star Wars.
Okay.
With Russia.
Yeah.
That he is trying to put so much pressure on them that might be changed, because during COVID, you had some rebellions, some protests and all that don't happen in China kick up.
Right.
They got so upset at the leaders. And some people feel like maybe he's doing the same thing, trying to get animosity.
I guess
to
it could.
Maybe
Yeah.
push something to change in China.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll happen or not, but I wonder going to 125% tariffs if that's not in the back of his mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
If he can weaken them, the less we have to worry about him taking Taiwan or doing stuff to us. The canal, is still a big deal.
Right.
So if he can weaken them, then it makes it easier. Of course, also if you back a tiger into the corner.
Yeah, well, it could go both ways. That's the problem.
That is.
So yeah, I've actually got the video right here. It's let's see how long this video. Let me turn it down before. It's 2 minutes long. It's interesting though. He's got a good take on it. I'd be interested to see what you think of what he's saying. So we can run that real quick. We can pause and run that real quick. Or
we'll go ahead and plug it up. Well, we're almost out of time for this quick clip. We might want to carry this over to a second quick clip and start with that maybe.
We can do that. Yeah. Okay. How much time are we running on right now?
We're 10 minutes already. These quick clips go quick.
Okay, so
get it. Quick clip. Yeah,
I like what you did there. So, all right. So the thing I wanted to talk about on this quick clip though was it's ironic that so you had that happen last week, and it's like everybody is saying, "Oh, he took him only a few months to crash the economy. We told you all this is what was going to happen." Blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, so he's a horrible president. He made a bad move. The economy's crashing. Okay, right. Possible. And then literally 2 days later, the stock market bounces back, and now he's an inside trader. It went from which I love that they're like saying like, oh, he's insider trading. It's like half the people like Bernie and all them. It's like, wait a minute.
I heard the other day AOC's worth several $1 million.
Yeah.
How? She's been in Congress for 6 years, making very minimal.
Whoa. She was a bartender. She was making bank.
Not millions.
You don't think so?
No.
Come on.
Really?
I bet she was a good bartender.
You think so?
Yeah. She'd bring you a Mick Ultra in no time.
So when she talks about insider trading, I just don't listen. Go talk to Pelosi. They won't talk.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, oh God. She's the worst.
But you're right.
Net worth is...
1 minute, so he's crashing the economy, next one. And I keep hearing this. It's so funny to me. I hear all these commentaries saying, this is not what the voters voted for. They didn't understand what they were getting with Trump. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what we voted for. This is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
Go back. Did you see the clip circling last week with Trump in 1988? I forget whose show he was on, Oprah or Donahue. And he basically, young Trump, 1988, is going through what he would do if he was president about tariffs and how he would make sure these countries pay their fair share.
Yeah. Well, I've seen clips of...
Same thing. So you're talking about, what is that, 37 years ago?
Yeah.
It wasn't a surprise.
Right. And I've seen clips of like Pelosi and some of these other people years ago say the same rhetoric and the same thing about these China and these other countries that Trump's talking about today. They just never did anything. They just, word salad and then just did nothing except insider trade. And then, now they're worth $60 million on a
speaking of next, we'll hit this on next quick clip. We'll go to Leary and finish up tariffs. But also, have you ever heard about... Well, first off, did you hear about this Texas investment firm who sold short on Truth Social the Friday before the Saturday he was shot at?
No. Oh, really?
And then I went back and found information about people who sold American Airlines short the week before September 11th.
Oh, that's a conspiracy, brother.
Now, somebody was trying to tie the two together. I have not found evidence of the same people doing it. Because the one back then when you found news reports, it was all about Bin Laden had people doing it.
Right.
Because he knew what was coming.
Right.
But there's some conspiracy, it's right up your alley, conspiracy that the same people in this country did it both times.
That's a bold
So come
one.
back to our next quick clip.
Yeah.
And we'll finish up these thoughts. Little conspiracy on the next one.
Yeah, that's wild.
A little conspiracy on the next one. Then who is it? What's his name? Kevin
O'Leary. Yep. Mr. Wonderful.
Finish up the tariffs.
All right, let's do it. Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
Mortgage payment, insurance payments, credit card payments, they can be very overwhelming. Are you ready to take the time to get things under control? Then reach out to me at Clark Financial Coaching to see if we can get you started with a budget and then a vision for the future. Write me at coachwesc@gmail.com. That's coachwesc@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to send us your topics and give us feedback at dollarscentsgs@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and X at dollarscentsgs. You can follow us on Facebook at Dollars and Cents. Listen to us on the podcast format at Dollars and Cents Podcast, and you can also find us on YouTube at the Dollars and Cents Podcast.